Hello everyone. How you doing? Silver has jumped from October's price of around $18.30 to 23 and change, over around $5. Now, when I went to my coin dealer today, these silver bars he had last week were all sold out. They sold out real fast. And he had some silver browns, buffaloes and stuff. 29.50. Can you believe it? Anyway, I did buy a couple things. One of the first things I'm going to show. Hello, how you doing? Is this thing? It's a medallion of some sort. Amateur Athletic Union Championship. What it's a championship for, I don't know. It doesn't say, but it's kind of neat looking. This is a really thick piece. Not real heavy though, so I really don't know what it's made out of. It feels like some kind of metal. It was $2. So we'll put it back in the holder. The holder did say 10, but it was in a box where everything was $2. Now, we're going to pull out this thing that I got and get it out of the packaging. Here we go. This is for Fort Leonard Wood, which is where I served my basic training at. Now, on this side, it kind of says Garrison Command Sergeant Major's Coin of Excellence. Soldiers, family, and civilians. Well, the garrison commander is a full bird colonel and command sergeant major, which you don't always get in the military. This middle part turns. Doesn't turn real easy, but I think it's supposed to be this way. But it's kind of a neat thing. This is where I served my basic training many years ago. And I've been back at least once, but not in a long time. Now, this 38D dime here, it's got decent detail left on it. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. But when their staples are up like this, the best thing to do is to take pliers and flatten them like this. Because kind of, you don't, these staples can kind of scratch a coin, especially if you have a box with a lot of coins in it and you try to stuff it between a few. Now, $2.50, most online places I was looking, if you want to buy Mercury dimes, they're asking for more, and you have to buy a whole row of them. But I didn't want to buy a whole row, so I got this. Now, this one, the 1937S. The S-mint on this is right there. This is probably around good to maybe fine range. Very good. Looks like most of the rim is there and everything. Now, one thing about 37S Washington quarter is there's only two other mintages where it's lower, and that's the 32S and D, which are lower mintages. This they made 1.6 million of, which for a modern or slightly modern coin is a very low mintage. So, and the fact of the matter is now I have, if I remember correctly, 5 37S quarters. So I've got quite a few of them, maybe more than anybody else I know. I figure eventually the fact that there were only 1.6 million minutes of this is probably going to eventually, if people start collecting these more often, lead to the rise of the price of this coin a little bit. Now, it's never going to reach what the 32S and D run. 32S or D in this kind of shape would probably be at least $50 because 400,000 minted is a lot less than 1.6 million. But I felt happy to get this. Now, there was a question on one of my videos that just went live where I was talking about 50-cent coins and dollar coins. Well, I didn't talk about dollar coins then, but I've talked about dollar coins like this one quite a bit. It's a Morgan dollar. If you go on AppMax or any of the other places and try to buy a Morgan dollar that is coal or worse than coal, it will cost you, I think AppMax wanted $26.99 or $25.99, and they would let you have them for $25.99 if you bought a certain number. And that number, I think, was 500, and they may not even have 500 to sell you. Now, when I bought this, a coin dealer guy had found several of these worn out Morgans, and he charged $20 a piece for them. So right off, that's $6 less than what AppMax wants. Plus, no, I could literally walk to his shop from my home. It's only a few blocks away, actually. Hey, John Jacobs, how you doing? Saying hello to you. Now, the half dollars I got. Let's see. I think I got a couple of them over here. If comments back and forth between John Jacobs and Canny Friday. If you go online today and try to buy Walking Liberty half dollars like this, worn a bit, general circulation ones, they would be about 12 something. And I did not pay $12 for these. I was able to get several of these at $10 a piece. I had one that has a hole drilled in it. I think I asked him about it, and he let me have it for $8. But if you go online and try to buy Walking Liberties halves or JFK or Benjamin half dollars, you're not going to be able to buy them for $10. Most places want about $12.50 to $12.76 or something. I think one of them was. I looked at AppMax, Hero Bullion, and Money Metals, and I think I looked at JM Bullion earlier. You can't buy Walkers or any other half dollars. Wow, 18, huh? Well, that's what this one is. Right here. The date's starting to wear away on it, but it's a 1 and an 8, so it has to be 18, 1918. It doesn't look like a 2 or nothing. So it was $10 when I bought it. This is a 1920, and this is another 1918 one, and it's an S-Mint. Here's the S-Mint on this. So $10 a piece I didn't think was a bad price for this. Now, yeah, I've got a couple that are better dates than them, but these were basically stack type coins. So very close to melt. Well, melt's over $8 at recent prices on these, although these are worn pretty bad. Now, dimes, barber dimes like these, usually if you buy a barber dime, good six, if you buy barber dimes like these, you're probably going to pay about $3 a piece on them. This one's got a weird wear pattern. The middle is, you can see part of the ear and the eye there, but the two edges are worn, and then you flip it over to this side. That corner, and the bottom are worn on this. But if I remember correctly, this was $2 when I bought it, which is cheaper than what anybody's been offering barber dimes lately. But that's neither here nor there. And $2.50 for this one, which details wise, I'd say this is probably in the range of at least fine. The rim is pretty strong on it. It's a 38D. I mean, it does have wear, but it's not in bad shape. But I don't know if John Jacobs saw this. Barber dimes, $4 or more now. This is a Fort Leonard Wood challenge coin, military challenge coin. The middle part turns, and it's from the garrison commander and the command sergeant major's coin of excellence for soldiers, families, and civilians. And it's shaped in the state of Missouri because that's where Fort Leonard Wood is. And it's St. Louis to be over here, and then you follow I-70 down, and it's just south of I-70. I actually served at Fort Leonard Wood, and I've been back at least once, well, one time since then. It's kind of neat. And so I don't feel any weirdness about buying this, because somebody might say, well, it's stolen honor to display a challenge coin that you didn't serve there, or you didn't serve in that unit. Well, I served at Fort Leonard Wood, although I never got this when I was there. I think this was something given out later, but it's pretty cool. And this, I don't know if you saw this, John Jacobs. This is just a medallion for the American Athletic Union. Yeah, well, you've been buying them for $4 or more now. Most of the ones I bought lately that are in these card mounts for barber dimes have been $3. But yeah, 37S is one that I feel like there's a chance in the future this could go up in value, because 1.6 million, it's the third lowest Washington quarter mintage for circulation coins. I don't know about, or silver ones anyway. I don't know about state quarters and all that stuff. There's so many different state quarters and all that stuff. Who knows? You was getting them for $2.50 to $3. That's not a bad price for a barber dime, unless they're in a little bit better shape, which these two aren't. They're pretty well. This one's got wear on the rim, so they'd probably knock it to AG3 at the best. This one might be a good 4, because it looks like the rim is all there in the front and back. It's pretty slicked across the middle, though. But if I went and it was in a card and I saw this, they'd probably charge $3 for it at least, where I usually buy coins. Let's see if I can pull out something else interesting. We'll move some of this stuff out of the way for the moment. Let's set this box down so I can kind of pull stuff out of the box. By the way, the box. You love barbers, love the classic look. Yeah. Um, this particular box is what you might see at a coin dealership, but this one's is double wide, 14 inches long, full of coins. Oh, too cold for them snakes? Yeah, I bet. Anyway, in this particular box, we'll pull out the fact. Told you I had several 37S's. Well, here's another one. Bought a while back. And the S Mint is right here. I don't think it's quite as good. Plus, it has divots in the head and in the field. One there, and then one on the forehead and one on the side. All right, I have another one that was slightly better shape. Keep in mind, 37S, 1.6 million minted. This one said they wrote Fine Plus on it, and it was a little bit more, $8. Again, the S Mint, it's right there. So that's 3. This makes 4. 37. Pretty good shape. S Mint. So those plus the one I just got, this one, make 5 37S's. That's quite a few of a semi, pretty much a key date one, because there's only no one likes snakes that much. But when you have a total of 5 of a coin where they only made 1.6 million of, and they're all out in general circulation, and that's kind of cool to get that many of a key date. And some of these coins I haven't had time to go through and flatten out staples, which I do recommend you do if you buy them in these card mounts and they have staples to flatten them. But we'll put these ones back in the box, leave that one out for now. But I have 5 of the 37S, which I think is an accomplishment to get so many of one particular mint that is a lower mintage. But in this box, he said something about barbers. Barber quarter in 1892 that I'm going to guess has been in the coin shop several times, because there's 3 marked out prices, and 5 1/4 is what I paid for it. Well, you take care, Kaney. I think that's how it's pronounced. But there's a good look at the back of these. This is not bad condition considering it's an 1892 Barber quarter. Now, I don't have a whole lot of them in here, but you have a 1902 Orleans Mint. 20 degrees rotation on the 37S. Wait a second. Which one are you talking about? This one? Does look slightly off. Let's pull out them other ones again and see if you're talking about one of them. Let's see if they look any different. Kind of looks pretty similar to me. Okay, that one's kind of lined up like that, so we flip it directly over and then this one, I don't know. I'll have to look at it closer again. But any of the early 30s estimate ones are a little bit lower mintage than the Philly and Denver in general. It doesn't hold true for all of them, but my dealer had another 32 Philly today that it was just off. Yeah. 1932 Philly, 32 Philly, 32 Philly, 32 Philly. And I've got a couple loose ones too. Of course, they made 5 million of the 32, around 5 million of the 32 Philadelphia. It's the S and the 32D that are the key date ones on these. And I do have one of each. They're not in this box, but I do have them. It's just off, not centered. Yeah. This particular one, you mean? $32p quarters that spot, yeah. Well, you won't get the D or S one at spot unless someone doesn't know what the heck it is. They just think it's a plain Washington quarter, then they might leave it that price. Now, in this box of quarters, it goes to half dollars too, and in them, there's only one Barber half in this whole box, and it's a 1907 S in that one. But you can see the details on the half dollars a little bit better, even though it's about the same design as the quarter. You can see the S right there. Wow, that's kind of weird. Until you do that, then it kind of looks right. But if you just flip it this way, then you're like, well, that's weird. We'll put that back and grab the other box because there's something in it I want to show. Now, for those who don't know, some of these state quarters were made in mint sets in silver. You don't see no copper band on this. This is a silver proof for Texas. The Lone Star State, 2004. That's kind of neat. But sometimes they sell these for about the same price as the ones that aren't, older ones and stuff. And sometimes they pull some of the ones like these, which are silver proofs from proof sets. 93S. The estimate's over here. And this is a silver coin. As all of these are 93, 94, 95, 95S. They're all estimate. What I'm talking about. 96, 96. I got quite a few of these actually. A couple 98s. Oh wait, how'd that 1902 Barber get over there? Oh, I dropped it on the table. That's how. Anyway, we look at this. There's two 93S's, a 94, 95, 90. Wait, was that a 94? Yeah, 95, 96, 97, couple 98s. It's a pretty good run, and none of these were very expensive. Most expensive one was $5.75, the 93S. But sometimes they sell these for about the same price as the old ones. 55 Benji. See, forgot, but the next time I was there, I had one in his junk box. Mine, cool. You know, for the Benjamin Franklins, there aren't too many of them that are really low mintages. In fact, there's some more modern proof ones in here. Didn't grab out of the box. 92S. Another 92S. Someone wrote $15 on and then priced it $5. It's always nice to find one in the junk box for a price that you're willing to pay. Now this just tells you, when I bought this, that 93S mint silver, 3 1/4. Just tells you that when I bought this, silver was much lower than it is today. But these weren't very expensive for these proof coins. They were about whatever the price on a regular silver quarter is lately. But let's pull out that other box real quick. I think this is it. Hello, Aunt Laura. How are you doing today? This is the better box. What was I wanting to show out of here? Oh yeah. We were talking about barber dimes earlier. Who doesn't? If you can find a nicer coin in a junk box, you did well. Anyway, $19.09, very fine. There's the old mint down there by the reef. This is the last year that the Orleans Mint made dimes and quarters and half dollars. And this is a pretty nice example. Of course, that price, it wasn't very cheap, but to buy a barber in this kind of shape, they're going to start getting costly because most of them got worn out a lot. Heavily circulated coin that was a workhorse for the United States, that they just put them out there and they just stayed in circulation and wore out quite a bit. So you don't see your barber dimes in fine or better too often. This isn't quite as nice as that last one. It's 1910 Philadelphia, but it's got really good details left on it. It's a nice coin. It was $9.50, which is a lot cheaper than the old mint one was. Now this has some darkened toning on it. It's 1915. But you can see there's really good details left on this one. The cheek is kind of round. And finding them in this kind of shape is pretty hard, even though this is near the end of the run of these. But you can see all the little teeth around the rim really well on this, and the corn details on the corn and the leaves. And when you flip it over this side, you can read Liberty. If I can get the light to hit it just right, maybe you can make out Liberty on there. It's a pretty nice one. It was $18. So when you start getting the fine or extra fine on these, they start getting expensive. And I fully expect it. If you're going to buy these and you're going to get them with better details left on them, they're going to be more expensive. All right, we'll talk about this one. Yeah, one of ours closed, so I'm down to just the main dealer I buy most stuff from and the jeweler guy who does have some nice coins occasionally. This one's got pretty good detail too. It's a 1916 Philadelphia. It was $7.50, which for a fine one is probably not real bad. And it too has really nice details on the one dime on the back. It's a pretty good one. Now, let's see if I have any barber quarters in here that are really nice. Looks like I got a few and a couple of them. I wrote fine on this, but it's clearly polished a little. 1902 Philadelphia. But it does have better details left on the coin than they usually have on these. You can make out the details of the coin quite well. The stars and all the little teeth around the rim. It wasn't cheap though. This one they wrote very good on, and it looks more natural to me. Circulation wear that kind of makes it look partially cleaned, but that looks kind of like a lot of these do. They get dirt around the edges of it and around the design, and then the fields and the flat spots and the flatter spots in the coin kind of wear a little, and they kind of take on a cleaned look. But as barber dimes quarters go, that's not bad. I mean, it says very good plus is what this guy said he thinks it was, which would probably put it at VG10 if it was graded, but it might come back details. This one would definitely come back details if it was fine or not. It'd be details cleaned. Fine details cleaned. We'll throw this back in here. All right. And then we'll talk about the $50. Someone put G plus or G4. G4, the rim should be there all the way around, and on this side, it is. Now, most of the design features will be worn kind of flat. It's a 1906. On the back, it's an old mint, and as we work our way around the rim on this, it looks pretty solid, so I'm going to say this probably is at least good for. Now, being a 1906 Orleans mint, they wrote $20, and well, I'm not sure if that's really the going rate on this or not. But it's a nice looking one. And then I have a 1907 that's been clearly cleaned. This is details, F, details, fine. So it's got the details to make it a fine coin, but it's been cleaned. They didn't write cleaned, but again, it is Orleans mint. And even though it's been cleaned, I didn't think $12 is a real bad price. Of course, I don't know what other $50 were going for back then, because I've had this one for a while. This one's more recent. But 1906, 1907, in $50, I think I got an old mint ones. I think I got a 1908 and a 1909, two 1909 O's. Want to get a 1909 quarter, but You know your Barber quarters and your miniages well. You know that the 1909 O was kind of an expensive one. They make a lot of them, and they went out of circulation relatively quick. Now, 1917, Type 1 with damage, but Type 1, if you notice on your Standing Liberty quarter, most of them, the older ones, or newer ones, I mean, have stars between the eagle and where it says $quarter. This does not. Now, it does have a deep scratch that took the A and messed it up, and messed up the E and part of the M and stuff. So it's got a deep scratch on it. But in terms of finding these with the dates on them still, you can read the 1917 on this. It's worn some. Dates on these older ones wore away pretty fast. But this is a good, as is, $9. 1917 Type 1 Standing Liberty quarter for $9. I don't think that's a real hard decision. I think I'd buy it again, even with the damage. Let's see. While I'm looking at these, this 1920 I got at the coin show. Now the 1, 9, and 2 are worn a bit, but you can make out the 2 on it. It's a early Standing Liberty, but here's what I mean by Type 2. In Type 1, you see the stars between the eagle and $quarter. And I think the eagle itself is a little bit smaller on the coin to make that work that way. Let's pull that other one back out real quick. Where is it? Where did I put that? I put it all the way up there. That wasn't where it's supposed to be. Well, maybe not. The eagle's just lower. Because when I look at them side by side and closely, it looks like the eagle's about the same size. It's just the way the lettering is on this is a little bit different than that one. I mean, I don't have a ruler real handy to measure, so we'll just go with that. And when I'm talking about coins in this box, I have to show this one. I have to show this one because in terms of mercury dimes, this particular one is really nice. A slight bit of chatter on it, bag marks, whatever you want to call it. But that's a nice looking mercury dime. It's a blazer, really. Then you look at the back. I don't know how well you'll be able to see the middle band, but it has a split, and the split goes all the way across the coin, which is not real common on these. There's a little bit of a scratch across the top here. I don't know how well you will see it. There, you can kind of see it there, which detracts a little bit. But this is a very nice looking 39D. Somewhat common year, but not common in this kind of shape, really. It's a really nice looking one. Now, when I bought this, showed it to a guy. So what do you think about this? Another guy at the coin shop. Now, keep in mind, I've been showing him coins like this and talking about them for 2 or 3 months, and every time I showed him, I said, what do you think about this? He'd come back with, are you buying it? If I didn't buy it, he bought it. I showed it to him, and I showed it to another guy who was buying some other stuff, and they both wanted to buy it. So I'm like, I'm buying it, even though it was $18. Let's see. Let's get back here and show the 32 S&D, because I said I had these. Yeah, it's $80. 32. This one's the Denver. You can see the D there. Well, I haven't had time to do this. Should have flattened these a long time ago. Because this is definitely one you don't want the staples tearing up it or the 32S that was right next to it. It's a bit worn, but even in this kind of condition when the mintage is so low on these. There's the S Mint. It's slightly worn, just about the same as what the leaves and stuff underneath the Eagle is, and the $quarter, so no one's played around with this and punched in the S Mint on a 32 Philly. It's pretty legit. We'll flatten the staples on this too, which I really need to do this to all my coins in these, because I got quite a few where it's not flattened. That ain't flattened. There. That's better. But 32S and the 32D are very low mintage on these. So we'll put them back. And when I talk about 39D dime, I'm going to have to show the 39D Walker that no grade on it, but it's got really nice details and good mint luster spiraling on the coin. It's kind of hard to grade these because the strike quality changes on the is so much different. Looks like a little bit of a scratch down the coin there. Unless that's just the plastic, but it kind of looks like it's a scratch on the coin, which happens to these bag marks, whatever. But this 39 Denver is fairly nice. It's one of the nicer looking walking Liberties I have. And the D mint mark is right over here, which will be right there. It's a pretty good one. It does have more scratches now when I look real close that probably put it in the AU territory, not mint state. And it does look slight wear across the high points, but that could be a poor strike quality too. You'd have to get a good light and start checking the mint luster. If the mint luster goes across the flat part, it just means it was a poor strike. After this, there ain't a whole lot more to talk about. But I am going to show this one because I want more of these. This is a Philippine 1 peso coin, 1907 S Mint. It's a hefty coin, pretty big, has 0.5144 ounces of silver in it. A bit of a ding on the rim. The volcano. It's a nice coin though, even though it does have a slight ding there. And being when I bought it, it was priced at near melt, $11. Last time I saw one of these, they wanted $15 for it. And this probably would be around that range today if they had it. But that's a neat coin. I like that design with the shield and the eagle. Very bold. Back then, the Philippines was our territory. Anyway, I've been online for a while, a bit longer than I wanted to, probably. But yeah, my dealer had several silver bars like this. When I went back today, they were all gone. He said they all sold real quick. Which the price on silver rounds, 1 ounce buffaloes and stuff, was $29.50 today. So the higher prices have worked their way through the system to my local dealer. But even without them being that much, last time I saw him a couple weeks ago, he was asking $28 for buffaloes, which is just a little bit less than what the online price was, but it's still kind of expensive for a buffalo. But at nearly $24 silver, $29.50 would be like about $5 over historic, well, over the premium. History says the premium on a buffalo should only be maybe $2. So that tells me that if they're $29.50, silver is probably about 28 for physical, which is a few dollars higher than what the stated price is. But that price doesn't reflect what it costs to actually buy physical silver, which is higher than what the price is. And the premiums have been up for quite some time. Anyway, I've been online for quite a while, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end the live session for now, and I wish you all a good night, and I hope to see you again next time. Have a good night.